This is ABC 7 News at 6.
A person is dead after being struck by a vehicle in Bradford early this afternoon. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. Authorities say the call came in around 12:40. Penobscot County Sheriff Troy Morton says it happened on Route 221 in Bradford. He says a vehicle traveling south on Route 221 toward Glenburn struck a pedestrian who was on the roadway. The person was pronounced dead at the scene.
We were assisted by emergency medical folks from both Glenburn and Bradford Fire, which attempted to provide life-saving efforts here at the scene, but those were unsuccessful.
Well, Sheriff Morton says some details are not being released until family members are notified. He says witnesses are being interviewed and the investigation is ongoing. In other news, the mural of a rainbow pride flag in downtown Bangor has been repainted after being vandalized right at the start of Pride Month. Crews from Bangor Public Works were seen this morning painting over tire marks that are believed to be the result of burnouts on the pride flag painted along the bridge connecting Hammond and State Street. City staff tell us the flag was painted just last Wednesday. The flag is painted in the same area every year for Pride Month. It's also located near a memorial dedicated to Charlie Howard, a Bangor man who died after being attacked in 1984 for being openly gay.
I would say, generally speaking, I find Bangor a wonderfully inclusive, warm, friendly, welcoming city for all people, and I think it's important that we remain that way.
I was disappointed. I mean, what's the point of doing something like that? You know, they're just out here painting it again, and I'm glad they are, because of what it symbolizes. It's something exciting for our city, and it's beautiful. It adds color, and you know, no matter how many times people want to do stuff like this to symbols, it doesn't diminish anyone's spirit. It doesn't crush anybody. It just makes us more determined to be the welcoming and inclusive community that we are.
A spokesperson for the city of Bangor described the incident as disappointing and says the city will continue to address such occurrences and continue to work with valued partners interested in making meaningful contributions to downtown and the city. Bangor police say they are also monitoring the incident. Well, the Maine Masonic Foundation has announced a new matching grants initiative to help local lodges assist their communities in the aftermath of the Searsmont fire and explosion. The foundation is allocating an additional $50,000 in matching funds to further aid eligible victims, local organizations, and nonprofits affected by the fire at Robbins Lumber. A statement says the Masons have a long history of promoting the well-being of their communities in challenging moments like these, whether by offering their time and talents or by providing direct financial aid. It says they encourage victims, community organizations, and nonprofits that are in need or are offering assistance to contact their local Masonic lodge. Well, Maine is continuing to expand registered apprenticeship opportunities. Applications for Career Pathways Program grants were due June 1st. The Maine Departments of Labor and Education anticipate making between 2 and 4 awards of up to $250,000. They'll go to school administrative units, high schools, career and technical education centers, adult education programs, and others to develop Maine career pathways that support student and adult learner success. Labor Commissioner Laura Fortman said, quote, "Maine is at an important moment. Employers across sectors need talent, young people need clear pathways to careers and economic opportunity, and communities need strategies that help more people stay, work, and thrive here." This convening was about bringing the right people together to move the conversation to action so we can build a system where education and work are part of the same journey, end quote. Well, a new sign along a high-traffic Down East roadway is drawing some criticism from locals. Our Alex Schley tells us why local business owners are concerned about the impact it could have on their bottom line.
Business owners in one Down East community are speaking out over a new Maine Department of Transportation sign along Route 9. The sign warns drivers of limited service for the next 75 miles and is now drawing criticism from some who live and work in the area.
It's kind of insulting that the end of the world stops at Clifton, which I'm not putting Clifton down or anything. It's just we're as important as they are. It's, you know, it just makes a sign seem like there's nothing after, and we just want to make sure that people know it.
The sign in question is located here along Route 9 East in Clifton, just feet away from the town's general store. Amherst resident Ralph Jordan has owned the general store for more than 30 years. This weekend, he took to Facebook to share his frustration with the sign.
Hey folks, Ralph Jordan at the Amherst General Store. Well, I'm not there now, but I will be. I'm not too happy about this sign. It says 75 miles. You go 8 more miles down the road, you got the Amherst General Store, you got the Airline Brewery, you got the Christmas Tree Ranch, you got Mesa's Takeout, you got Hillside Game and Ranch. What more could you ask for?
Jordan says he understands the need for the sign, but believes it should include more clarification about what services are actually available along the route.
13 more miles to get gas if they're open, and then it's pretty much Baileyville before you get to the next gas station.
The Maine Department of Transportation sent ABC7 and Fox 22 a statement saying in part, quote, the existing sign noting limited service for the next 75 miles was intended to provide advance notice to motorists. While a local general store does provide services in the area, those services are not available at all hours. Following our review, Maine DOT plans to add supplemental language to clarify. In Hancock County, Alex Schley for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Alrighty, folks, we'll pause now and take a first look at our forecast.
Temperatures for today were beautiful. We were in those mid to upper 60s. Some spots were in those low 70s. Beautiful day out there. We saw some clouds. We saw some sunshine. We saw some rain showers. Another beautiful day we had. Taking a look at radar right now, we do have some cloud cover. Still we'll see some peaks of sunshine, maybe a couple sprinkles out there. Nothing to cancel your outside evening plans for any reason whatsoever. Taking a look at what we have coming up, those clouds will roll out of our area overnight tonight into the early morning hours of tomorrow, making way for a beautiful Wednesday with lots of sunshine. The temperatures on the climb. It is going to be a beautiful Wednesday for us. For tonight, though, your temperatures are going to cool down quite a bit. Our temperatures are falling back into the low to mid 40s.
Thank you so much, Anna. Coming up on ABC 7 News at 6, we'll have more of your local news.
I'm Owen McCarthy, running for governor. Here's why they say I can't win. Not a politician. I'm an engineer, business builder, and problem solver. Augusta, they don't do problem solving. No famous last name. Yeah, I'm the son of a logger and a lunch lady from north of Augusta. Plan is too detailed. My plan makes Maine affordable for working people. They say it's too smart for politicians to understand. Too nice. Yeah, I'm not an asshole. I'm Owen McCarthy. Let's prove him wrong.
For the best selection in classic and contemporary furnishings, stop by Richard Parks Furniture on High Street in Ellsworth. Handcrafted New England-made bedrooms and dining rooms, imported Scandinavian recliners and upholstery, more than 40 lines of furniture for the home and patio. Richard Parks Furniture is your #1 stop for quality, functionality, and well-designed furniture at affordable prices. Richard Parks Furniture.
Discover Richard Parks.
132 High Street in Ellsworth.
Discover Richard.
When disaster strikes, who do you call? Penobscot Cleaning Services for smoke and fire damage, water and storm damage, and even nasty mold. Who do you call? Penobscot Cleaning Services for the cleanest carpets, guaranteed. Who do you call? Penobscot Cleaning Services, from cleanup to restoration and everything in between. Wow! Tell your insurance company you want Penobscot Cleaning Services. Visit our website for more info. We'll restore things to normal in no time.
For 20 years, Graham Plattner has shared his hateful and bigoted beliefs online. Police officers who keep us safe, Plattner says they're all bastards. Black people, Plattner insults them and says they don't tip. And if you dare disagree with Graham Plattner, he calls you retarded and a fag. 20 years of nonstop bigotry and hate from Graham Plattner. Read it yourself at bigotedplattner.com. Pine Tree Results PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
At Spectrum, we believe you shouldn't have to choose between speed, reliability, and value. That's why Spectrum fiber-powered internet gives you all three for just $40 a month. No contracts, no commitment. Just great internet at a great price. Spectrum fiber-powered internet delivers the fastest and most reliable internet for everything you do at home. Streaming, gaming, and connecting. Switch today and get Spectrum fiber-powered internet for just $40 a month. Call now or go online.
You're watching ABC 7 Bangor.
Welcome back. As Maine's primary election approaches quickly, we want to make sure we're giving our viewers a deeper look into the candidates they'll potentially be voting for. Today, we hear from Republican gubernatorial candidate Bobby Charles.
I ended up on a scholarship and working my way through Dartmouth College and then Oxford University with a degree in economics, and then Columbia Law School, the Reagan White House. Ended up serving my country 10 years in the Navy, Navy intelligence officer. Loved that experience, active duty after 9/11 and some other things. And then just a series of lightning strikes. I ended up being a federal investigator for 5 years for Gingrich. I ended up spending a lot of time working on issues that related to national security, criminal justice, and in particular working as a crime fighter to try to figure out some of the worst problems in the country. And then got a call from Colin Powell, who asked if I would consider being his Assistant Secretary of State. I told him right off first, are you sure you have the right number? And he said, I do. And then I had written a book called Narcotics and Terrorism, and at that point those were big issues. And then I said, gosh, I mean, I'd pay money to work for you. So bottom line is I ended up being an Assistant Secretary of State. My mission was to downsize a lot of the giant multi-billion-dollar operations at State, which I did. I removed bureaucrats and I thinned it out and made it efficient. But at the same time, I had to, while I was laying track, I needed to continue to deliver. So I trained the Iraqi police. I trained the Afghan police with Dave Petraeus was on the other side of those missions with the Army. I ended up helping to bring down the Cali cartel and a bunch of other things. So all of that creates a situation in which you come back to Maine with a good education, good life experience, an entire life really dedicated to service. I did spend 25 years, and I still run a company dedicated to national security. We work with the Pentagon, the various combatant commands. We do counter-narcotics training for the National Guard. And so here's what happens. You come back to Maine, and you say, okay, here are all the things I've done, and here are the problems of Maine. I've managed billions of dollars. We have big mismanagement and I would say incompetence and corruption in the government in Maine. That's important. We have a big drug problem, and that's important. We match the drug experience to the drug problem. I have been very much focused on fraud. We have a state focused on, unfortunately, managing fraud. The bottom line is, I believe that God puts us all where we're supposed to be. You right now watching this, me here talking. I believe that we have to listen very, very closely to what our mission is. And I believe that the best way to use my skills when I get up every morning, having had my life saved many times in different places, the best thing I can do is to serve the people of Maine. So I've gotten up and spent the last 13 months campaigning to tell you I want to cut taxes, property taxes, income taxes, give seniors exemptions on taxes. I want to cut crime and drugs. I want to rebuild our schools. I want to get our energy costs down. And finally, I want to get the fraud out of Maine. And that's me, Bobby Charles.
Well, to be exact, we are 1 week out from the Maine primary election and digging into more information about the candidates. Our Callie Warren is looking today at gubernatorial finance records, and she joins us live with more information on that. Callie.
Thanks, Beth. Well, we are looking at 4 independents, 5 Democrats, and 8 Republicans in the bid for Maine governor. The Maine Ethics Commission keeps track of those candidates, their funds raised, and their up-to-date expenditures. We'll start with our independents. Rick Bennett has raised $528,570 in total, with a little over $295,000 in expenditures, leaving him with over $233,000 in cash on hand. W. Edward Crockett is looking at $9,116 raised overall, with $1,250 for expenditures, so his cash on hand total is $7,866. John Glowa has raised $180 with 0 in expenditures. No data is available for Derek Levasseur. Looking now at our Democrat hopefuls, Shenna Bellows has over $1 million in contributions and loans, $515,196 in expenditures, and $419,327 in cash on hand. Troy Jackson raised $643,000, a little over $500 there, spent $388,441, leaving him with $140,000. 444. Angus King III has $908,308.62 raised in total, and $569,200 spent, with $314,490 left over. Hannah Pingree raised over $1.3 million and spent just under $650,000, leaving her with a total of $508,269. Nirav Shah has $509,767 raised and a little over $170,000 spent, ending up with $275,000 with a little over $500 left for cash on hand. Finally, our Republican runners, Jonathan Bush has a $1,340,951 in contributions and loans, $717,809 in expenditures, for a cash on hand total of just over $600,000. Bobby Charles is looking at over $600,000 raised, but $378,378 spent, leaving him with $290,666 for cash on hand. For David Jones, contributions and loans total $439,776. His expenditures are $212,470, making for a little over $173,000 in cash on hand. James Libby has raised $14,745 and spent $14,355, leaving him with $389. No data is available for Garrett Mason. Owen McCarthy is looking at $391,000 raised and has made $176,000. Has spent $176,000, making his cash on hand total $166,351. Ben Midgley has raised $500,328 and spent $235,000, leaving him with $158,661. Robert Wessels is looking at $41,535 raised, $24,708 in expenditures, and $16,000, $826.96 cash on hand. All right, Beth, thanks for bearing with me for that one. Those are the numbers for the gubernatorial race as it currently stands. Back to you.
Well, Callie, thank you so much. And still to come on ABC 7 News at 6, we'll have sports and your full forecast, so stay tuned.
I'm Jordan Wood. Everywhere I go, Mainers tell me they've had enough. Tired of higher costs, exhausted by endless wars, and worn out by corporate greed. Washington is failing us. It's time for a new generation to fight Trump and the billionaires. I've already taken on election deniers and won. I'll never take a dime from corporate PACs or lobbyists. I'm Jordan Wood, and I approve this message because I'll fight corruption, defend our democracy, and finally pass Medicare for all.
This spring, invest in your nest with the County Federal Credit Union. Your home has grown in value season after season. With the county's 10-10 Home Equity Line of Credit, you can borrow up to your credit limit over 10 years with interest-only payments over those 10 years, 10-10. And then you can stop and smell the roses, soak up the sun, and invest in your nest. The 10-10 Home Equity Line of Credit, the County Federal Credit Union, countyfcu.org.
Calm, compassionate, capable. That's how Dr. Nirav Shah led us through one of our most challenging times together, earning the trust of Mainers for his clear leadership that saved lives.
As governor, I'll be guided by evidence, motivated by compassion, driven by urgency, and committed to our responsibility to care for one another. We've come together before to tackle tough challenges, and I'm ready to do it again.
Nirav Shah, Governor.
Joe Baldacci, the hand-picked yes man of dark money DC. He's bankrolled by DC and beholden to them, not us. The truth? Joe Baldacci is the only Democrat running for Congress who stands with Trump and opposed implementing Medicare for all Mainers now. Good for the establishment, bad for Mainers. Reject dark money and corporate Democrats. Vote no on DC's handpicked yes man, Joe Baldacci. Real Change PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Half-off deals are waiting for you at foxbangor.com. Click on half-off deals and see how much you can save only at foxbangor.com.
Welcome back in, folks. The news of the week in New England is the Patriots have a new wide receiver, #1 in A.J. Brown, and he wasted no time getting to Foxborough. After being traded from the Eagles to the Pats late Monday afternoon, the star wide receiver was already out on the practice field at Gillette Stadium on Tuesday. Brown wasted no time getting to New England and has even admitted he was a Patriots fan growing up and still has a Patriots rug in his house. So he lived out a dream on Tuesday, getting to wear that Pats logo for the first time.
Just talking to my mom, and I was like, man, I'm still in awe. You know, I'm trying to adjust, and walking up the hill with the uniform on. I was like, man, this is real. Caught myself one point in practice, wasn't paying attention because I was like, dang, I'm a Patriot, and just trying to take it all in as much as I can. Obviously, I got back to work quickly, but it's levels to it, and like I said, I'm enjoying it. It's obviously I know this ain't heaven, but it's close to it.
We'll have a story for you on the Mattanock Academy softball team and much more later on. But for now, that's all the time we have for sports. Here is your full 5-day forecast.
Tonight's weather is brought to you by Patriot General Contractors, your go-to for all your carpentry needs. Whether it's a full remodel or a window replacement, they have you covered. Well, those temperatures for today were, again, a beautiful day. We had temperatures in the mid to upper 60s, also some spots in those low to even mid 70s out there. A beautiful day. We saw a mix of clouds and sunshine and maybe a couple sprinkles out there as well. Beautiful day out there today. For tonight, your temperatures are going to fall down into the mid to upper 40s, maybe a little 50s in there. Other than that, it will be a cool evening for you. Tomorrow, temperatures are on the climb. We're going to be reaching for 80 in many spots for tomorrow. Cooling down quite a bit less for your night tomorrow night, and then the heat is on. We are having temperatures into the low to mid 80s in many spots, so the warm weather is coming if you enjoy the warm weather. Here's a look at those temperatures. Tomorrow we're going to be close to 80, but then your Thursday and Friday, we're looking at temperatures in the low to mid 80s, so warm weather is coming for you, don't worry. But then we cool down for your Saturday. It's back in the 70s. Sunday looks like to be the coolest day out there for us with temperatures in the mid 60s before we're back into those 70s. And along with this heat, we will have a little bit of humidity out there, some muggier weather for your Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, making it feel a little bit warmer than it already is. So we will have heat, we'll have warm temperatures, but when is this next rainfall going to come? Well, first, we're going to talk about where the winds are at. Now, it's going to be calm out there for a majority of your night tonight into your day tomorrow. And then we get a little bit of some wind gusts coming off of the coast for your evening tomorrow, making it a little bit more of a breezier day for you on your Thursday. Now we can get into the rainfall here. We have some cloudy skies, a couple of sprinkles out there. Otherwise, nothing as far as the eye can see over to the west of you, and it's going to remain that way for the next couple of days. A few clouds rolling through, otherwise lots of sunshine on the way. More clouds will come through for your Thursday before your next rain chances do come into the area for your Friday night. Into much of your day on Saturday will bring rain. For tonight, though, temperatures will be in those mid 40s, right around 45 here in town, with partly cloudy skies for your day tomorrow. Temperatures right around 80. Another beautiful day with mostly sunny skies. And then taking a look at your extended forecast, another beautiful day out there tomorrow. Temperatures are on the climb for Thursday and Friday, back into those 80s. And then the thunderstorm chances are in our area. Temperatures fall quite a bit for your Saturday into the low 70s before we have a real cool down on your Sunday.
Thank you, Anna. There is still more to come right after the break.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
Bobby Charles sounds good, doesn't he? Well, none of it's true. Mr. Crime Fighter? Nope. Bobby Charles has spent 25 years as a Washington, D.C. lobbyist. He'll clean up Augusta? Wrong again. When Charles ran a federal agency, auditors slammed him for poor management and wasting billions of tax dollars. Charles' record was a total disaster. So don't be fooled by Bobby Charles. You can't trust anything he says.
At Ashes to Ashes Pet Crematory, we understand your pet is family. When it's time to say goodbye, you deserve compassionate, respectful care. We're a family-owned crematory in LaGrange, offering private cremation for dogs, cats, and even exotic pets. You'll meet the caring people who handle everything from start to finish. Visit our office to see our selection of urns and memorial jewelry for pets and people. You do have a choice in where your pet is cremated. Call Ashes to Ashes Pet Crematory today. We're here when you need us most. Please call us for pricing of services.
Matt Dunlap sided against Maine women. Dunlap's anti-abortion voting record earned him a 100% rating from Maine Right to Life. We deserve answers. Matt Dunlap says,
no regrets at all.
Now a mystery group tied to Republicans is meddling with $300,000 to elect Dunlap. Vote for a Democrat we can trust with a 100% voting record from Planned Parenthood. Joe Baldacci.
I'm Joe Baldacci, and I approve this message.
Of all the candidates for governor, there's only one who can meet this moment, and that's Hannah Pingree.
Donald Trump is counting on governors who will give up and back down. I will never give up, and I will never back down. Protecting our democracy, our voting rights, reproductive rights. We've got to do a lot more so we can bring down costs for Maine people.
The only Democrat supported by Janet Mills and Graham Plattner.
Hannah Pingree.
Hannah Pingree.
Hannah Pingree for governor.
At Old Town Redemption Center, we are always ready to help with any fundraisers or bottle drives. We are here to help our community. Like and follow us on Facebook for upcoming weekly holiday giveaways and our monthly $100 drawing.
Maine has inspired numerous authors and artists over the years. For Edith Netter, living in the small Oxford County town of Denmark provided her the time, space, and solitude to retrace her family's German roots for a new memoir. Our Jody Hersey has more.
Edie Netter, a retired attorney who lives in Denmark, Maine, grew up knowing very little about her Jewish German grandparents.
As many children of Holocaust survivors, I grew up in silence. The one thing that my family talked about is the house.
The home Netter is referring to is the 1924 residence built by her grandparents in Germany. It's where her grandmother would make apple fritters, and her Aunt Lily and a friend would often play accordions together.
They were very much assimilated into the community. My family had what then was a decent-sized business. They were well respected.
Netter says her family's status did not protect them or their home from being taken. She writes all about the experience in her memoir called The House at Schumannstrasse 7.
My grandfather got sent to an internment camp on the Isle of Man for 4 years. My grandmother had to flee to safety.
While doing research, Netter got the opportunity to visit the home and even meet the past owners.
The first owner, she had preserved some beautiful fabric that was on the wall. It was silk, kind of a paisley pattern, and for some reason she had saved it and then gave it to me.
She hopes by sharing her family's story, others will take an interest in their own heritage. In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
Edith Netter will be speaking at the Maine Jewish Museum in Portland on Sunday, June 7th at 2 p.m. And that is going to do it for us, folks. From everyone here at ABC 7 News, take care and have a great rest of your night. And for more, join us over on Fox 22 News tonight at 6:30.
Graham Plattner. Which is 19.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So he overpaid.
Well, I went from the date that was written, which was September.
Well, that's ridiculous. I mean, you can't make up your own law.
That is true.
That's your own law.
That is true.
$945.
But there's also over $2,000 worth of medical bills that he hasn't paid.
Well, then I take him to court for it. You can't offset it. $945. Judgment for the plaintiff. We're done.
While he's excused, you may step out.
Judge Judy continues in a moment. And on the next Judge Judy.
My opinion's the only one that counts.
I think it's excessive and abusive.
I would like us to try to at least talk and make amends and be friends.
Because that's the way he's been for the past 20 years.
But that doesn't seem like it's possible.
I would like him to leave me alone.
Just one day at a time. I think Judge Judy did a rightful decision.
This is Fox 22 News Tonight.
A person is dead after being struck by a vehicle in Bradford earlier this afternoon. Good evening, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones. Authorities say the call came in around 12:40. Penobscot County Sheriff Troy Morton says it happened on Route 221 in Bradford. He says a vehicle traveling south on Route 221 toward Glenburn struck a pedestrian who was on the roadway. The person was pronounced deceased on scene.
We were assisted by emergency medical folks from both Glenburn and Bradford Fire, which attempted to provide life-saving efforts here at the scene, but those were unsuccessful.
Sheriff Morton says some details are not being released until family members are notified. He says witnesses are being interviewed and the investigation